If you are looking for some of the very best plug and play tactics for FM23, you have come to the right place. Whether you're just short of time or you need a complete overhaul of your tactical style, here on the channel I will test the tactics so you don't have to. In today's video I'm going to be looking at a positive 4-3-3. The subject of today's tactic testing video is going to be the Arteta's perfect 4-3-3. This is a tactic that was created by Josh Daly and is based around Mikel Arteta's current Arsenal tactic. Let's break some of the positions down that you are going to need for this tactic. So you're going to start off with a sweeper keeper set to support. You'll have a wing back on the left hand side set to support. Two ball playing defenders. And on the right hand side, a wing back on support. You'll have a defensive midfielder set to defend. A box to box midfielder on support. A Mazzala set to attack. On the left, an inverted winger set to attack. On the right, an inside forward set to attack. And at the top of the pitch, a deep line forward set to attack. So it's based on Mikel Arteta's current Arsenal tactic, which is the 4-3-3 that they have been using in the Premier League. Its tactical style is custom. Its mentality is positive. Its in possession will look like this. Its in transition will look like this. Its out of possession will look like this. So that is the tactic and the positions. I have put it through its paces in a single season sim. I've used Bournemouth, Roma and Rayo Vallecano. Let's kick off the tactic testing results in the Premier League, and that means we are looking for Bournemouth. We find Bournemouth in 8th place in the Premier League, and if we break down their 38 game campaign, they have played 38, they won 17, they drew 7, they lost 14, they scored 58, conceded 62, and a -4 goal difference, and they finished on 58 points. Now that finished in 8th place, and actually if they could have just got one more point, they would have jumped up into 6th place and would have qualified for the Europa League. If we go to the profile page of the Premier League, we can see they don't really trouble the stats board, but if we go and have a look, Solanke got himself 14 Premier League goals. In terms of average ratings, they didn't have anybody in the top 20. For assists, they had Ryan Christie with 10, Jadon Anthony with 9, and Dominic Solanke with 9. For Player of the Match awards, they had Dominic Solanke with 5. For clean sheets, they had Neto with 9 clean sheets. Yellow cards, not an issue with this tactic, so discipline is good. Rothwell had 15.34 kilometres covered per 90 minutes. Anthony got 3.89 tackles per 90 minutes. And in terms of dribbles per 90 minutes, they didn't have anybody in the top 20 of that category. So an impressive start with Bournemouth finishing up in 8th place in the Premier League. How did they get on in the other competitions? So they were knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup by Sheffield United. And they got all the way to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup before they were knocked out by Manchester City. Next, we have moved across to Spain and we are in La Liga. That means we are looking for Rayo Vallecano and they have finished in 10th place. If we break down their campaign, they played 38, they won 14, they drew 9, lost 15, scored 59, conceded 63, at a -4 goal difference, and they finished on 51 points. Now, they were only 4 points behind Osasuna, who qualified for the Conference League, and they were 8 points behind Villarreal, who qualified for the Europa League. If we go to the profile page, we can see that they do have a few players, but we're going to have to look for most of the stats. So they had Falco scored 12 goals. Garcia also scored 12 goals. Average ratings, they had Comencia with 7.31. Assists, Palazon with 9, Garcia with 9, Treco with 8, and Comasana with 7. Yellow cards, they didn't have too much of an issue. Palazon got 6 Player of the Match awards, and for clean sheets, Lopez got himself 8. In terms of distance covered per 90 minutes, they had Mario in 19th place with 14.34. And tackles per 90 minutes, they didn't have anybody in the top 20. and dribbles per 90 minutes. They didn't have anybody in the top 20 there either. So a 10th place finish in La Liga. Let's look at the other competitions. They played in the Copa del Rey, but unfortunately they were knocked out in the third round by Burgos. Finally, we are jumping over to Italy for the last team, and we are looking for Roma, and we find them sitting top of Serie A. They have won the league. Now, they played 38, they won 22, they drew 14, they lost 2, they scored 62, conceded 31, giving them a 31 goal difference. And they finished on 80 points. Now, something crazy actually happened here, because Milan also finished on 80 points, and that meant to win the league they actually had to go to a first place playoff where they beat Milan 2-0 to win the league. It's absolutely crazy, and I've not actually seen that happen before, but Roma have won the league. If we go to the profile page, we can see that they didn't actually have the strongest players in terms of the stats. If we go looking though, they had Dybala and Abraham both score 14 goals. In terms of average ratings, they had Pellegrini with 7.14. In assists, they had Pellegrini with 11. Player of the Match awards, they had Dybala with 7 and Pellegrini with 4. For clean sheets, they had Patricio with 18. Yellow cards, no issues there with discipline. Distance covered per 90 minutes, didn't have anybody inside the top 20. Tackles per 90 minutes, nobody inside the top 20 there either. And dribbles per 90 minutes, they had nobody inside the top 20 there. So, absolutely crazy that they ended up winning Serie A in a playoff. How did they get on in the rest of the competitions? In the Europa League, they were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Manchester United, and they got to the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia, but they were knocked out by Internazionale. So, a fantastic way to end the tactic tester with Roma winning Serie A. Right then, if you're still with me at this point of the video, firstly, a big thank you. Secondly, if you could hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel out, I really would appreciate it. Watching the channel grow across the past couple of months has been absolutely fantastic. It's all down to people like yourself who watch the videos. Before you go, don't forget to check out the rest of the channel. We have other videos such as tactic testing with non-league teams, Wonder Kids, hints, tips, tutorials, rebuilds. There is something for everybody on the channel. But for this one, I'm going to wrap it up there. A big thank you for watching. I'll see you on another video very soon.